my channel, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am giving you my July TBR. I'm a bit excited about this TBR because I do have a video planned, and now this video may not come out until like August, but I'm excited about it because I am stealing a page from Allison Pages and doing a 24-hour see how much I can read in 24 hours kind of thing, but the way that Allison Pages does it is that she spreads it out across her life basically, or 24 hours within a week, which I plan on doing with all 4 of the Hunger Games. So we're going to start this TBR off with series. Let me just go ahead and grab this whole stack of books. Keep them a secret though, you don't need to see what they are until I tell you. Anyway, we're starting with all 4 Hunger Games, and I'm really excited about this also because I did get from Girl in Red, I got the matching, I have tape on my arm, I got the matching tabs that come for, she has like a set of them, and for each of the book covers, so that's exciting. I will be reading these for that. If you don't know what the Hunger Games series is, then I'm elderly, I guess. Essentially they send kids to battle to the death. That's really all you need to know. It's rebellion, dystopian. It like is the quintessential dystopian book set, so I'm very excited about reading it. I think that also I'm going to start with the prequel and work my way through. When I did my reread a billion years ago, I read the first 3 and then the prequel, and then the prequel put me in a reading slump. So I wonder if I read the prequel first, knowing that I have the other 3 to look forward to, if that will change things. I don't know, but either way, I'm really excited about rereading these because it's been a couple of years, and for me these are weirdly summer books, and so reading them in July is going to be a good time. Next up we have Once Broken Faith by Shauna Maguire. This is the 10th or 11th book in the October Day series. I have at this point read every book and short story in between this book, and so I'm very excited to continue that series. I highly recommend the October Day series. I obviously have been reading the hell out of it recently, and it's just a good book series, especially if you like sort of quick-paced fantasy action-ish stuff with incredibly the slowest of slow burn romance as a subplot. Then I highly recommend this book series. I also will be reading, as another reread, Seasonal Fears by Shauna Maguire, which, if you guys know, Middle Game is my all-time favorite Shauna Maguire book, but this is also one of my favorites. My husband is currently reading it, so I am going to be rereading it to kind of follow along with him so that I don't accidentally spoil anything as he reads it and talks to me about it. This is one of the books that I heavily defaced last summer, so that's really exciting. And also I have, that was loud, I have this reread log that I got from Girl in Red, so I'm going to be adding this to my book, which is, it's a good time. Next up on the series continuations, which is basically what all of this is, although this is like not, it's just the sequel, and because it's not new to me, I don't know if it counts, but anyway. We have The Name of All Things by Jen Lyons. I should put this book down because that's not what I'm talking about. This is the second book in the Chorus of Dragons, and frequently when I'm talking about series continuations, I do not want to spoil it for you, so I'm not going to spoil it, but this is a high fantasy book series. The books are huge, the audiobooks are long. Art recommended the first book for me, and I read it for CLEARURSHT, and I really enjoyed it, much to everyone's surprise. And so I'm excited about getting my hands on it at the library and reading the second book. I think I will have a lot of fun doing that. And that's actually it for my series. Also, side note, this TBR is pretty short, so I'm just preemptively telling you now that this TBR has, I think, 10 books on it, maybe, but that's because a lot of this I'm going to be reading with my eyes, and I recognize that I have some limitations there, and also I feel like I should disclaim that I only mentioned 1 October Day book, but there's a strong chance that I read 4 or 5 of them this month, and then get mad about it because I'll have that many fantasy blocks for my book blanket that I have to make and figure out how to fit into the rest of this. Anyway, moving on to Standalones. If you moved, it's because my camera died. I am just having camera problems left and right on this filming day. I think I deserve it because I've refilmed the same video several times. Anyway, moving on. For Standalones, I am going to start with Horns by Joe Hill. This is a horror novel that I got on my birthday trip, which I think that video should have already come out, so you should have seen that video by now. My friends took me to a two-story used bookstore and I got this book. And Joe Hill is probably one of my all-time favorite horror writers, so I'm very excited to read it. At first, Egg thought the horns were a hallucination, the product of a mind damaged by rage and grief. He had spent the last year in a lonely private purgatory following the death of his beloved Marin Williams, who was murdered under inexplicable circumstances. A mental breakdown would have been the most natural thing in the world, but there was nothing natural about the horns, which were all too real. Once the righteous Ig had enjoyed the life of the blessed, born into privilege, the second son of a renowned musician and younger brother of a rising late-night TV star, he had security, wealth, and a place in the community. Ig had it all, and more. He had Marin, and a love founded on shared daydreams, mutual daring, and unlikely midsummer magic. But Marin's death damned all that. The only suspect in the crime, Ig, was never tried or charged, and he was never cleared. In the court of public opinion in Gideon, New Hampshire, Ig is and always will be guilty because his rich and connected parents pulled strings to make the investigation go away. Now, nothing Ig can do, nothing he say, matters. Everyone, it seems, including God, has abandoned him. Everyone, that is, but the devil inside. Now, Egg is possessed of a terrible new power to go with his terrible new look, a macabre talent he intends to use to find the monster who killed Marin and destroyed his life. Being good and praying for the best got him nowhere. It's time for a little revenge. It's time the devil had his due. Yeah, I really like Joe Hill's writing, and this book seems particularly fucked up and fun, so that's a terrible sentence. But regardless, I'm excited to be reading it, so I will be reading it. Next up, we have Let the Monster Out by Chad Lucas, and this continues my ongoing attempt to read things that have been on my library TBR for a bajillion years. This is a paranormal, middle grade-ish, paranormal horror, unsure. Bones Malone feels like he can't do anything right. To make things worse, things in town are getting weird. His mom isn't acting like herself at all. She's totally spaced out, almost like a zombie, and then he and his brothers have the same dream, one where they're running through some of their deepest fears. Kyle Specs feels like he can never say the right thing at the right time. He thinks he might be neurodivergent but hasn't gotten an official diagnosis yet. His parents worry that the world might be too hard for him and try to protect him, but Kyle knows they can't do that forever. Even though he's scared, he can't just stand by and do nothing while things in this town get stranger and stranger, especially not after he and Bones find a mysterious scientist journal that might hold answers about what's going on. But when faced with seemingly impossible situations, a shady corporation, and their own worst nightmares, will Kyle and Bones be brave enough to admit they're scared, or will fear totally consume and control them? This sounds very Gravity Falls-esque, and I love Gravity Falls, so I'm pretty excited about this one. I think it'll be interesting. Next up, we have The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This book was really popular, I believe in 2020, maybe 2021. It was recommended to me more than once, but by people who didn't really know what I was reading, so I didn't take the recommendation too highly because this was people who didn't really know me, but I have had it on my TBR forever, and I figured, you know, now's the time to read it when most people have forgotten about it, so if I have negative opinions, nobody will get mad at me for them. The secrets lurking in a rundown roadside motel ensnare a young woman just as they did her aunt 35 years before in this new, atmospheric suspense novel from the national best-selling and award-winning author of The Broken Girls, which I've never read, so. Upstate New York, 1982, every small town like Fell, New York has a place like the Sundown Motel. Some customers are from out of town, passing through on their way to someplace better. Some are locals trying to hide their secrets. Viv Delaney works as the night clerk to pay for her move to New York City, but something isn't right at the Sundown, and before long, she's determined to uncover all of the secrets hidden. Viv, you're gonna die. That's gonna get you killed. Maybe make smarter choices. Anyway, on to the next section of this TBR, this very short and sweet TBR. I have comics, which I'm excited about. I also got these on the birthday trip. So we have got the New 52's Harley Quinn. The first one, it's Hot in the City. This is one of the few Harley Quinns that I don't know a ton about, is the New 52's Harley Quinn. And I am excited to read about her. I think she's hot, so, you know. I'm also debating rereading the Bombshells, but I haven't decided yet. The DC Bombshells. And then I found this, The Books of Fairy, and I've literally never heard of this. And she's a snack-sized little comic. She's not very long. But I'd never heard of it, and so I was excited about it. It's from Vertigo, specifically. DC's, like, publisher Vertigo. suggested for mature readers. I don't know if I fall into that category, but here it is. So yeah, it looks really interesting, and if you, have followed me for a while, you know that I really like things in the Fae realm, so yeah, exciting stuff. That's my July TBR. I know, very short, very fast-paced. We were running through them quick, but I just had the spoons, transparently, I had the spoons to film, and I haven't felt well for about a week or two, so I needed to film while I had the spoons, so here we are. It's fully transparent. That's the reason that this got crammed in here, and I actually think that when I take my thumbnail for this video and the other video I filmed, they're coming out one right after the other, maybe, and so they'll just be the same outfit. It's fine, because I wear the same things all the time, but nonetheless. Anyway, that's it. That's my TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books. If now that I've talked about them for 3 months now, you really want to read the October Day series, because you should, if that's your jam. If you did not enjoy this video, let me know how I can make it better for you, also in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless I'm taking a break. And you can support me on things like Patreon, Twitter, whatever. All of those things are in the links down below. I will see you guys later. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks, bye.